Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Good for Utah Road Tour. You just learned about Escalante Petrified Forest State Park, and you can see behind me the camp spots. They're full, lots of folks, but really what's been the most active is the trail just over to the side of us where people are heading up and down to view the Petrified Wood. It's just a mile loop hike, and it's situated right here in the campground. Gorgeous day to be out and enjoying in Garfield County. All right, taking a view from southeastern Utah, Blanding, showing off sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and it's a bit breezy. We've seen the breeze here in Escalante as well, but it's pleasant as those temperatures sit in the upper 70s where we are. Taking a look at temperatures throughout the state, we're knocking on the door of 80 degrees in Salt Lake City. Those 80s on deck for tomorrow as high pressure has taken control and really warmed us up. We were in the 70s yesterday, but we would take back about 5 degrees today with the high taking over, bringing sunshine and a drying trend. Checking out a camera in northern Utah, you're able to see that live view from Sandy. Lots of blue sky, lots of sunshine. It's just a beautiful Thursday, folks. Really nice, especially since the beginning of the work week was quite unsettled with a series of disturbances. As you look at temperatures along the Wasatch Front, will stay in the 70s, cooling to the 60s with mostly clear skies expected as we head into the overnight. Now, the dry pattern that we're seeing today we love, but it doesn't necessarily get to stick around. Satellite radar shows us the last few hours with just a bit of cloud cover moving through the northern half of the state and over towards the Uintas, but not a lot of activity. Okay, we expect that with high pressure, but the upper level futurecast kind of shows what's happening and the reason we could introduce some showers. High pressure underneath that influence today and into tomorrow, and you're going to notice that to the north of this building ridge of high pressure, we've got activity, some storm potential in the Pacific Northwest. Now, we are going to see a mostly dry cold front move through tomorrow, and that means that we'll open the door for cooling conditions heading into our Saturday, but you also can't rule out the slight chance of moisture. As we get later into the weekend and early next week, we get a better chance with a system digging far enough south to graze northern Utah and bring some isolated shower potential. So we're giving you that wide view because we like you to know the reason you're seeing the weather that you're seeing. Futurecast takes us through tonight and your Friday, and see how that model wants to pick up on that mostly dry front. It could maybe fire off a thunderstorm. Looks like in the central portion of the state. Heads up there. Doesn't look like it's a whopper, so we're not going to see much moisture, but the chance of moisture holds on as we head into Saturday as those temperatures cool, and then again into Sunday. Sunday into Monday, we get another little disturbance there, and that brings wet weather potential to the high country as well as into central Utah. The model picks up on that as we get into our Monday. That's where isolated shower potential will be there. And that kind of hangs into Tuesday. So an unsettled pattern. Today is the day where we don't really have to worry about that because we have dry conditions and high pressure, and that's why it's so beautiful out there. As we look at our temperature trend, you see peak spring warmth tomorrow, and then those daytime highs drop. You see how they kind of slope down, continuing to cool as we bring in that unsettled pattern and the chance of a little bit of wet weather. All right, into tomorrow. I'm going 80s. We're almost there today, and I think that the potential will be there ahead of that dry front moving through. We get 90 over in Moab, mid-90s in St. George. Spring warmth with the warmest day of the next 7 expected for your Friday. Now you know you've been forewarned. 7 days in St. George bring some cooler conditions, a little more seasonal with cooler air by early next week. Mid-80s is where we typically are in St. George with that sunshine. Here's the Wasatch Front. We follow that temperature trend and we ease with those highs heading into the weekend. Chance of that wet weather. Notice how it pops up. Now, these aren't super huge storms, but the chance of a pop-up storm or shower definitely in the forecast as we head into next week as those temperatures cool to average and then even below with a day in the 60s on the docket. We're live in Garfield County from Escalante Petrified Forest State Park. This is really kind of a hidden gem. Not a ton of people talk about it. It is really quiet. It is really beautiful and one of the best spots in the Beehive State. We'll send it back into Brian.